Hello folks, Nikolai 54 here on X and Stock Twits with new startup ticker AAGC, Hollywood Star Cuts. Quick little update here for you today. So I wanted to talk about why I believe AAGC and Hollywood Star Cuts may be entering a completely different phase as a company. And why the latest developments could be much bigger than people realize. For a long time, many investors have viewed AAGC strictly as a small salon company, but if you really step back and look at what management appears to be building here, it's starting to look a little bit more like a diversified franchise platform company rather than just a hair salon operator. And this distinction does really matter. The newest press release that came out just a couple days ago outlines that AAGC is working toward acquiring a food service company operating multiple locations in Florida. According to the release, the company generated just over $1.1 million in revenue in 2025 with positive earnings. And now, obviously, this is still in the letter of intent stage. So, as an investor, should understand that acquisitions are never final. But until, they're fully completed and it's been announced. But the important takeaway here is the direction. This is not just about adding another business. This potentially signals that the beginning of AAGC transforming into a multi-brand franchise organization. So when you think about Hollywood Star Cuts already having franchise infrastructure, training systems, licensing structures in multiple states, already operating salons, branding experience, existing franchise development in all these states, the possibility of rolling out an additional concept becomes much more realistic. So that's kind of what caught my attention with this news. Thinking about the company, it isn't starting from zero anymore, right? They already have operational franchise experience. They already have franchise territories around the country. They already have those developmental relationships in the field. And now they appear to be attempting to leverage that infrastructure into additional verticals beyond salons. And that's a very different story than most OTC investors are used to seeing. So on top of that, investors are also waiting on several additional catalysts that could all converge over the next few weeks and months as we kind of build this out. First, management has indicated additional salon openings, which, that is the core business here with, AAGC, right? The franchise development updates are expected here soon. I know that we got a tweet that he's actually traveling and meeting with potential franchisees this week and next across the country. So that'll be interesting to see what kind of comes out of that travel. Second, looking here is their ongoing product rollout initiatives into the big box retail channel. That's definitely something of anticipation. That was also tweeted out within the last couple of weeks. As they kind of formalize their roadmap on where these products are going to be located. The product rollout is going to be primarily in the Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan markets. So I know that we are all kind of, chomping at the bit to see what that update looks like. And I understand that update is looming. We should get that here very soon. So, that introduces a completely separate revenue stream outside of the salon services and the franchising model as well. It could be very, very big for the company. Retail product sales, guys, can potentially scale, at a much quicker rate than physical salon expansion alone. So really, really anticipating what this is going to look like as we move forward. So third, investors are waiting, obviously the updated financial numbers from the recent month, along with the annual filing, which is going to be here at the end of May. So May will be the end of their year, their fiscal year. How are we stacking up versus previous years? This is a big update that's going to be coming. So the annual filing, guys, that's going to be coming. We're going to see the revenue growth year over year. What is that looking like? The operational performance of the company, expansion progress. What does that look like? And the overall kind of direction of the business comes along here with that annual. Then there's the elephant in the room that many investors are continuing to watch very closely, and we're really anticipating which is the audit, right? The audit process. If the company can successfully complete that full audit, that could materially change really how investors are going to be viewing AAGC. So why would that be? It's because the OTC markets. That's the market we're in, and it can be a tough market, right? But audited financials often, are going to create that completely different level of credibility, and that's really where that's going to come into play. Visibility, right? Accessibility compared to an unaudited pink company, right? An audit doesn't guarantee success, but it definitely opens up the door for, additional investor interest, improved transparency within the company, stronger long-term confidence within the investor community, and definitely a broader market participation. A lot of investors rather, won't even give an OTC or a company the time of the day without an audit. That's going to be a pretty big deal for the company and the community as well. And, management kind of appears to understand that perception definitely matters. So that's, why I think it's notable that they are reportedly working on a new investor-focused website for AAGC as well. So that can't come quick enough, especially with the recent news. I know that they're working on trying to get that out so that they can have some additional visibility to the company, and as well as their updated Hollywood Star Cuts website. So those items are on the docket. We have been anticipating those items to be done as well as the company is kind of growing and scaling the business today, right? They kind of seem like maybe a small detail to some, but to others, it's a pretty big deal. And presentation and communication matter if a company is trying to transition, especially from a speculative OTC story into a more established operating business that has that promise long term. So you look, there's still going to be some risks here. It's still developing. The acquisition's not finalized yet. Let's make that clear. So execution definitely is going to matter. Expansion here of what does this look like? What are the costs involved? What is the structure going to look like? As franchise growth takes time, retail rollouts, have to translate into sustained sales and profitability as we kind of move forward. And we always need to keep ourselves grounded and keep the speculation from the facts, front and center. So, if you step back and take a look at all the moving pieces together, however, this story really starts to shape up. The franchise expansion, possible food service franchising initiative, right? Retail product rollout initiative. That's a big one. The annual filings that's getting ready to come out here at the end of this month here to be, let us know kind of where we stand as a company. The audit progress, right? That audit is a big deal. So where are we at with that? What does that look like? Investor branding improvements, right? The websites that we talked about. So what does that look like as we kind of look forward? On the operational scaling. And scaling has been the key for me as an investor here. I really like the scalability of where we are with the salon business. And that's not slowing down anytime soon. And now we have a new operation here, and what is the story there, and what is that going to look like longer term? It really becomes easier to understand why some investors believe that AAGC could be positioning itself for a much larger long-term business model here than originally expected. The next 30 to 60 days, guys, could end up being extremely important for the company as shareholders await those filings, as they await the acquisition update, expansion news, retail developments, and potentially the audit-related progress, right? So keep in mind also we have the April numbers. Those are going to be coming out next week. If the timeline follows suit, as we have moved typically within the couple weeks after the month ends, we will see those numbers come through. this next week. So whether you're bullish or bearish or just watching from the sidelines, this is definitely becoming a company people are starting to pay much closer attention to. It's starting to kind of get a little bit of buzz going on out there as the anticipation is ramping up. And as always, listen, do your own research, verify your information. Don't invest on, what a social media, YouTube commentary is. Get into the filings, go to OTC markets, look at what's going on, look at the disclosures, look at the financials. You'll see all the share buybacks that they've been doing over the last year and a half. You're going to see where the revenue is. You're going to see what the market cap is showing today versus revenue. Is this company undervalued? If you look at the numbers and the data, yeah, they're pretty undervalued, sitting down here at 777. So, all these things are kind of coming into play as we're a profitable company with the share buybacks. Now we've got potentially a new operation coming into the fold. From a pure business model perspective, AAGC now appears to be evolving from a single concept salon company into something much broader. Very, very interesting what's transpiring here. So, I think that's, developing franchise platform with multiple potential revenue channels and scalability. It could be a pretty big deal. So I think that's the part of the story that some folks are going to start to understand and start to notice as we move forward. So, look, time will tell. We will see how this kind of unfolds. Really looking forward to the next round of updates. We've got a lot of them. So, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Like, share the video, guys, and I will see you in the markets. Appreciate you watching. Thanks.